Hi Queens, Sam here. I hope that you're doing amazing, that you have been enjoying this summer, at least in North America, at least in Canada. We have been having longer days, more sunny, and it's been nice. Today I wanted to do a video which is in response to my own video that I did last year. Last year I did a video which was titled Why I Am Not Delaying CPP Despite Common Advice. And since then, I have been learning a lot about financial planning. I've been watching a ton of financial planning related video, and I've come to realize that maybe I was a little bit not right in that video. And last year, if you remember, it was a huge milestone for me financially because I reached Coast 5. Well, I reached Coast 5 in 2023, but I did the video in 2024 about me reaching Coast 5, which is essentially having a fully funded retirement. And for me, it's I did it from age 55. So from age 55, even if I don't add any money into my investments from now on, I'll have enough money to sustain the livelihood that I want to have from that age all the way to the time that I pass. And so to me, the Canada Pension Plan, which is a CPP, for those who don't know, I just started with the acronym, but in case you don't know, CPP is Canada Pension Plan. It's a government pension that is available to any Canadian who has contributed into it from age 60. So the earlier you can collect it is age 60, and the later you can collect it is age 70. I think it's the equivalent of the Social Security for you guys in the US, but don't quote me on it. So the Canada Pension Plan, essentially, the longer you wait to collect it, the more money you have. So if you collect it at age 70, you will have more money than if you collect it at age 65, than if you collect it at age 60. And so for me, I knew that I would not be collecting it at age 60 because I mean, I actually intend to be making money, like actively making money at least until age 70. I think that's what I'll be doing. So even if I have structured my investment in the way that from age 55 I can start withdrawing money from it, I do believe that somehow I'll still be having some sort of like active work that will be generating some income to me. So I don't really see the value of still contributing to CPP and then start collecting on CPP. And so that was the idea behind me saying for sure I did not want to collect between age 60 and 65. But at 65, I was just like, I don't see the value, right? To delay all the way to 70 because my investments are there. I know I can totally rely on them. I did not factor in a CPP. I did not factor in the old age security. I did not factor in any rental income that I may get or any other pension that I may get from an employer. And so I was just like, okay, well, let's not overkill this. I'm good. So let's not delay all the way to 70. However, the beauty of being a learner, which I am, is just to always be challenging even yourself, right, in terms of decision that you make. And to me, although I'm so far from collecting CPP and whatnot, I'm already thinking of how I would like to actually withdraw from my investment, how I would like to structure my retirement income in a way that will guarantee me cash flow for life, that will be optimized for taxes and also allow me to give to have as much estate that I can. However, for the estate part, I'm hoping to actually give as much from while I'm living, to the point that even if my estate is not like millions and millions, my loved ones will be totally fine. I don't want to wait until I pass for people to be getting millions. I want to be able to contribute to my loved one lives while I'm living. So the most important for me is really the cash flow, and then the second, optimize for tax, and then the estate. So when I put that all that into perspective, especially that first goal of guaranteeing cash flow to maintain my livelihood, I started doubting, me actually collecting CPP at 65, because if you wait all the way to 70, if you were to get $1,000 at age 65, you wait all the way to 70, you get 42% more. So you will be collecting $1,420 at age 70. That's $420. That's pretty much, that's interesting. $420 more per month. And the beauty with CPP and OAS, but for CPP, because that's what we are talking about here, it is that is a pension that is guaranteed for life. that is indexed for inflation. It is, permanent. It's coming from the government. So except if you're like bearish about the government and you think that somehow, and I know people in the US have been really negative, some of them have been really negative about their own pension, the social security from the government, but like here in Canada it's not the same. When you look at the way CPP is being managed, so it's not, we say government, but really government is not the one managing it. There is a separate entity that is managing CPP, and they have said that CPP will be available for years and years and years. So I don't really have any doubt that CPP will be around for the entire time that I will need it. And so for me, I'm just like, okay, well, in this case, if I decide to collect CPP later, past age 65, even 70, at this point, first of all, I'm going to be collecting a higher amount. Second, that amount will be indexed for inflation every year. And if you know anything about inflation, that's like a silent killer to your wealth, right? So if you guys remember for the past few years when we had like 6, 7, 8% inflation, it's been tough. Doesn't matter how much you were making, because we also know that wage did not increase as much as the cost of living increased. Well, people have been really feeling the pain of inflation. So if I can get some sort of like a pension from the government in this case that is indexed for inflation, well, that's like less money that I need to take from my investment, because essentially I know that it's going to be coming from the government, and it's guaranteed for life. So for as long as I live, essentially I'll be having that pension. Now, the downside of the CPP, especially for me being a single person, is that the survivor benefit from the CPP is like nothing. I think it's $2,500 per dependent. But by the time I'll start collecting CPP, I'm hoping that my children will be they will be grown, that they will have some sort of like stable situation, financial situation themselves, or that I'll be able to help them during my life to actually be well settled before I actually pass to the point that whether there is a survivor benefit from my CPP or not, they will be totally fine. Like the bulk of my estate will not be relying on the survivor benefit from the CPP. And so, and especially being a single woman, us women, we tend to live longer than men. And so in terms of cash flow, we really need to make sure that we do our best to making sure that the sources of our income when we are in retirement will be as secure as possible. So getting a government pension is great. So in my case, that will be the CPP and the old age pension, the old age security pension. With my current employer, I have a defined benefit pension. Now, I'm probably not going to be working as long as they want me to work for them to get full pension, but I'm still going to be getting something from them, in my retirement years. So when you add all of those three sources that are like guaranteed, index for inflation, permanent, um, that's already a bulk of money that you don't have to come up with. So, what is that doing for me is that my own portfolio, I can extend my own portfolio as much as I want it. Now, claiming CPP at age 70 instead of age 65 means that I will need to be taking more money from my investment. And so I need to be comfortable with that. And in my case, I'm totally fine with it, because reducing my investments as much as I can before I actually pass is also less taxes that my estate will have to pay. And so if I can somehow making sure to, yes, I'll be taking from my investment, way more from my investment than if I had claim CPP at 65. But, I'm not going to drain the whole thing. There will still be some money in there, but less money in, let's say, my 70s, in my 80s, because I'll be taking way more between age 65 and age 70. And that also all depends on how much really I think that I will need in my retirement years. Now, one thing that I know for sure with God blessings, is that I will not be retiring here in Canada. I love this country. I love this country. I think this is the best country in the world. Doesn't matter what anyone says. I've been living in this country for more than 20 years, and I've lived in I don't know, 4 or 5 countries, probably 4 countries so far. And yes, we do pay a lot of taxes in Canada. Yes, it's cold in Canada. Yes, you may not have as much as entertainment and all of those cool things that you have with our um, uh, our neighbor down south of the border. However, this country is amazing when it comes to social benefits, like different things like healthcare. Listen, we pay for healthcare through our taxes here. Nobody is going bankrupt because they have to have a surgery and they have to do like those, go to see the doctor and all of those things. It is covered by our taxes. So there are like a lot of benefits for, living here in Canada. And I do love this country dearly. So in my mind, I'm like, first of all, again, I know that my CPP will be there when I need it, for how long I need it for. Same thing for my old age security. However, I don't think that in my retired years that I want to be here, mainly because of the cold, and so I also know that I'll probably be somewhere where the cost of living will be significantly lower than in Canada, but my retirement income will be in dollars. And what that means is essentially that maybe if I was retiring here, I will need, let's say, $80,000 after taxes per year to have a decent life and all of that. But maybe, in the country wherever I'll be, I'll only need 50,000, right? So needing less to live on will also help stretch my investments. And so when you put all that together, I just realized that essentially I needed to do another video to probably say, I've changed my mind. I've changed my mind from that video that I did last year because I've learned more about CPP, how to leverage that for retirement. And listen, guys, this is not common. Most people claim CPP between age 60 and 65 because most people, they just want to get the money whenever it becomes accessible to them. Though there's some people that really need the money. Without that, they cannot survive, which is fine. But like most of the people, they don't really put that much thought into it. It's available. They just go ahead and they take it. And also because they're like, listen, I've contributed to this thing for years and years. I'm not gonna wait one more year. I'm just gonna claim it, and that's pretty much it. But here's the thing: when you start claiming it, except if you go back within 12 months, you cannot go back. You cannot wake up 2 or 3 years and be like, oh, I actually not ready to to collect CPP. You can take it. I will claim it later. You just have to continue claiming it. And so knowing that probably I'll be having some active income until age 70, that I'm gonna be getting more CPP at age 70, that's gonna be less. Of course, in the first years, it'll be more stress on my portfolio, but even after that, it will be less stress on my portfolio because I'll be getting all of those pension, government pension, and also from my employer and whatnot, all of that. I'm just like, realizing that really it will make sense. It will make sense. Again, I haven't really done a full financial planning yet for myself. I'm probably going to be doing it myself actually. So that's something that I'm actually interested to do for myself. And I know there are some apps out there that you can use, and maybe eventually also work with the financial planner. But I want to do that earlier rather than later to have a good perspective of what my retirement is going to look like, because one thing that I don't want to worry about in my retirement is money. Us women, like I say, we live longer. We tend to have less money in our retirement, and money anxiety and money stress is a real thing for women in their retirement. I don't want that for me. I don't want that for you. And this is why you need to get started into investing today. Today. Forget about yesterday, forget about last week, forget about last month or like 10 years ago. You just need to start today if you haven't started yet. And if you're looking for someone to help you, I'm here. I am here for you. There is always a Calendly link in the description of all of my videos. Book some time with me. Let's have a chat and let me help you making sure that you have that portfolio that is going to sustain you when you actually hit retirement. Very important. Yes, it's nice to have the government pension, but again, it has to be gravy on top of what you have already built. You don't rely on that exclusively because, as much as, like I say, I'm bullish on the Canadian economy and the Canadian government, who knows? Who knows, right? So anything can happen. And so there you have it. This is why I felt like I needed to do another video to say that I think that I was wrong in that particular video. I'm not gonna say that I was wrong. I have changed my mind based on the learnings that I've done in the since then. I've changed my mind. I think that I'll probably be claiming CPP toward age 70, maybe not exactly age 70, but probably between 65 and 70. And listen, that will make me in a very small percentage of people who actually claim CPP past age 65. Like I say, most people claim between age 60 and 65. You have a little bit at age 65, and a small percentage, I think less than 5% of people who actually claim between 65 and 70. However, when you know, you need to take that in consideration. So, and honestly, delaying to 70 also gives me more flexibility because if I already claim at 62 and I have like a financial issue, well, it's too late. CPP, I already claimed. Versus if I want to claim at 70 and then at age 66 or 67, I'm like, oh no, well, I'm not going to wait for 70. I have that lever that I can actually pull on and go ahead and claim CPP right there. Right. So it's a little bit like a card in my back pocket that I can pull out anytime until age 70 to help me with my financial situation, past age 60. So I actually like that. I like that. I like to have options. I like to have flexibility. I like to control things a little bit more when it comes to my money. But honestly, if you are a woman, a black woman out there, and you live in Canada, and I think it's the same also in the US, strongly consider, what could be the impact of you actually delaying your claiming your government pension to a later age so you can have more money, and what will be, the result of that on your own investment. So there you have it. Again, if you haven't had a chance to watch that video, I'm gonna put a link here. Also, that video was part of the I think, like, the challenge that I did, which was 30 videos in 30 days. There was an entire playlist just for that. Go ahead and binge on that. You'll see how I was able to literally produce 30 videos in 30 days. I don't think that I will ever do that again, but it was a nice way to challenge myself to come out here and share with you guys more content. So I hope that you will appreciate it. I hope that you did enjoy that video today. If you did, hit the like button, click subscribe, share this video with anyone that you know who may be close to retirement and not haven't decided, what they want to do with CPP. And also come back right here. I will have more video coming out in the next weeks. I don't have any schedule. I do it whenever I can, but I always enjoy sharing with you all of my learnings and how, hopefully that is really helping you in your own journey as well. But thank you for watching, and until next time, keep on building wealth. Bye.